Hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today, I'm here to talk to you about three things. And these three things make such a massive difference to your world that you will find relief from overwhelm, from people pleasing, from not knowing how to say no, all of that stuff that just creates havoc in your daily life. Now, we're going to start with a screen share, a little screen share like this. And I just need to do the mirroring. This is something I'm still getting used to, by the way. Are you going to do it? It's done it. It's done it. Fabulous. Right. This is a presentation about you. Yeah, you. You are truly fabulous. You're unique. You're a winner. You are the sort of person who's out there flipping, achieving it every day. You adventure with your life and with your kids. 9 times out of 10, you've got a big old grin on your face. But inside, you're like the swan, frantically paddling underneath. Behind that strength, is there resentfulness and overwhelm? If there is, you are in just the right place. Because the three things you need to clear all of this from your life are meaning, the ability to compress time or let someone else do it for you, and honoring your own human needs. The way that you can gain meaning is through these three areas. It's discovering your inner child, learning how to speak to that child, learning how to bring those parts into your present, and various different ways of tackling your limiting beliefs. You can do that directly by unpacking them and working through them, or you can go deeper into story work. All of these things allow your meaning-making machine, your brain, not your mind, your brain, allows that part of you to function at its best. Now, as far as compressing time goes, just going to move this thing out of the way. As far as compressing time goes, there are three areas there as well. There's learning the difference between control and planning. Control is like this forceful thing. Planning is creating a life you want, creating a life that includes positive habits and room for yourself. Now, I call this area compressing time because I've been studying this stuff for a decade at least. And there are so many books that you need to read to get all of this in line, to get all of your ducks in a row so that you can compress time. And let's face it, why do it if someone has already done it for you? Now let's talk about your human needs. The three main areas, what I call the core elements, these are all core elements, by the way, is learning about your values and the power of choice. Also looking at your individual core human needs and FFBs. Now, FFBs are family-friendly boundaries. This is a method that I have created to allow you to build a boundary that will be family-friendly. And by family, I'm also including things like your work colleagues' family or your workplace. Now, between meaning and compressing time is where you find direction. Yeah? That's what this little symbol here is. This little compass gives you direction, but you have to be able to compress time or know someone who can and get meaning in your life. Those two things combined will give you direction. Yeah. Or purpose. You could call it purpose. Between compressing time and getting your own human needs met, you'll be looking at creating priorities, learning what's more important than others, what's a now thing Yeah. And what's a shiny object, do it later thing. I mean, how many of you, get caught up in all of those shiny objects that crop up, those distracting chores that take you away from the stuff that you should really be doing? And then between finding meaning for your meaning-making machine and getting your human needs met, peace. Peace is what lands with you. Yeah. And once you have purpose, priorities, and peace, you can wrap that all up in this wonderful ball of community support, yeah, to get your emotional health and your future growth guaranteed with zero overwhelm. Absolutely zero overwhelm. That's all you need. You need a meaning-making machine that's working for you. You need methods to compress time, and you need an understanding of your human needs in order to get them met. Yeah. So those are the two sides that are going to balance your life. Yeah. Leveling up your emotional health and your future growth with zero overwhelm means that you are feeding your meaning-making machine. You're learning how to compress time. You're getting your own needs met. The way I teach this is through titration and integration. Titration being a little and often. Yeah. So there's small bits that you can learn. Some of them are in the free workshops that I give away. Some of these things you'll find in the lives that I do in my Facebook group. But in terms of titration, that's the one thing that will stop you getting overwhelmed. Yeah. Because it's little and often. Integration is also important, because if you learn loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff and you don't integrate it, and by that I mean bringing it into your body, yeah, you will be learning too much too fast, and it will all just flow out the other side of your head. I mean, let's face it, how many of you have taken on a big course or even like a 28-day challenge, yeah, and quit as soon as you get into it? The reason why is because it's not being titrated correctly. You're not getting a little and often, and you're not being given time and encouragement to integrate. I use breathwork, guided visual meditation, and journal prompts to make sure that you get the work that you need integrated. The community and support is what also balances that. Because no amount of titration and integration is going to work if you're not being supported. But these balances are what ensure that you can get that emotional health and future growth with absolutely zero overwhelm or burnout. Now, outside the core of the things that you need are a bunch of little extras. Now, I call these extras because they're not part of the core, yeah, but they're things that some women need and some women don't. I'm not going to read them all out, because these are just all sorts of things that you may need. Yeah, you may need specific help learning how to say no, or bringing gratitude, that's not how you spell gratitude, and joy into your life. This is a good one: pairing the rest you need with the need that you have. So if you're physically tired, you'll need physical rest. But if you're mentally tired, giving yourself physical rest ain't gonna cut it. Managing expectations. All of these outside the core elements are things that my clients so far have needed and I've created for them. So this is what I call the progression from enslaved to your own conditioning, and the conditioning that's been brought to you by society, and how you can get from there up to freedom. Now, so this is the movement that we're aiming for: upwards and outwards, expanding, yeah, side to side, as well as progressing upwards. Now, let me take you through this. And I'm learning this, so bear with the handwriting, yeah? When we're looking at this bottom level here, right? Your overwhelm frequency and your overwhelm intensity is both very high. Yeah? You're dealing with overwhelm multiple times a day, and it can be so intense that sometimes it even feels like a panic attack. But to get from here to here, and these are the steps that we're going to look at all the way up this, yeah? To get from there to there, all you need to get from fears, tears, stress, where everything feels like it's too much, too hard, too soon, right, is 1 or 2 small acts of kindness towards yourself. Yeah, this is self-care. Yeah. And in the shorthand that I'm going to do all the way up this chart, right, we're going to call this 1 to 2 times self-care. And it's those 2 little acts of kindness towards yourself that's going to lift you from this enslaved point to the next level. And within the first 3 weeks, you're going to go from multiple times a day to once a day, maybe. Yeah. The intensity is going to go from awful to disruptive. Yeah. But when you start adding in more self-care, so by this point, you'll be doing 3 times self-care and 15 minutes of journaling every day. And that's what will get you from this level to this level. And we'll teach you that and how to do it in the first 3 weeks. So these 3 opportunities for self-care will get you from there to the next level, where your overwhelm frequency is 3 times a week max. And it's still causing some problems, but it's improving. So to get from there to the next level, you just need to make it to 4 times self-care. And at this point, as well as the journaling, we'll be adding sharing. Now, the thing with sharing is that it's like holding out a hand to help a friend or a colleague up to the next step. Yeah. So by this time, you'll be making changes in your life that enable you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This progress is going to start, this progress is going to start feeling really real. Yeah. And when it starts to feel real to you, it will give hope to others. So if you're aiming for this level here, where you feel overwhelmed maybe once a week, and that it's minor and certainly manageable, all we need to do is lift you 1 more level. And that 1 more level brings you to, where are we up to now? 4. So we're on to 5 lots of self-care a week, plus journaling, plus sharing, plus gratitude. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that, gratitude is just one of those fly-by-night things. It comes and goes. Sometimes we feel grateful, sometimes we don't. And yeah, that is true. Yeah. But by the time you get to week 13, working with me, you are absolutely guaranteed to feel like gratitude is the right thing to do, because your balance between life and work and yourself and your family and all that stuff is going to be easy by now. So gratitude is going to be something that you will certainly be able to build into your life. And to get from this level up to here, where overwhelm frequency is, once a month, twice a month, maybe, and it's certainly no big deal at all. Yeah. You just need to add in. This is all about adding in. Yeah. So by this time, you'll be doing 6 items of self-care per week, plus journaling, plus sharing, plus gratitude, plus a joy list. Now, the cool thing about joy lists, yeah, is that they give you options of how you're going to express your joy and how you're going to get joy. So by the time you're up at this level, up here, yeah, all of these things, you know, this self-care and adding journaling and adding sharing and adding gratitude and then adding the use of the joy list, all of these things are going to do nothing but add to your life in a way that makes you more resourced to pour into the rest of your life. Yeah. A lot of people have come to me saying that they want to stop being a people pleaser. Yeah, that's not what this is about. This is about resourcing you so that you can then choose what you do and choose what you don't. So I'm just going to clear these off, because now I want to talk to you about these levels of progression and how you can expand yourself. I mean, it's quite similar to this chart, which I use when I'm teaching. Yeah, this is your comfort zone. This is the fear zone. This is where you expand into to then expand your comfort zone. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you know, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Yeah, this is your learning zone and your growth zone. I will hold that up to there. There you go. And you see how that works. Expanding your own comfort zone is kind of similar to, you know, this chart that I'm drawing here in front of you. And I've just realized that you might not have been able to see that. So I'll show you that chart again in a minute. So at this point, this is your enslaved area. This is where you probably are now. You're dealing with conditioning. You're dealing with, you know, all of this stuff that's been taught to you, right? Even your values have been taught to you. Your faith, your opinions may well have been taught to you. But as you learn what is yours, and then as you expand into learning what to do with your own opinions, yeah, you can then expand week on week on week until you get to this point where your overwhelm is no big deal. And it happens once or twice a month. Now, the thing with overwhelm is that it would not be a natural thing for you to have no overwhelm at all. However, when I talk to my clients about freedom, this is freedom from the kind of overwhelm that diminishes you, that limits you. Yeah. When you're up in at this area, you know, you'll flick in and out of this line. Yeah. This line here. You're going to be in freedom and out of it, in freedom and out of it. It will come and go and come and go and come and go and come and go. But at the end of the day, once you've crossed this line once, crossing it again and again and again will become easy. And you will spend more time above this line than you do in this confused area. Yeah. This growth area. Once you're above this line and you're into freedom, when someone asks you about how often do you feel overwhelmed, you're going to be saying things like this. What? No, I feel balanced and powerful. And I can honestly look you guys in the face and say that having done all of this work myself already, yeah, so that you don't have to, I can pick out the bits that you need without overwhelming you with all of the stuff that you don't need. So you're going to be going from a lot of overwhelm up to once or twice a month without having to fight it. Just a second. My echo, stop. Sorry about that. I just noticed that my alarm was about to go off, so I paused. So, and also when people talk to you about how intense your overwhelm is, you're going to be saying things like, I am truly calm, grateful, and at peace, because you've been adding in, adding in, adding in, adding in. And each time you add in, you have more to give. So let's go back to the presentation and look at what's next. If you are seeing this video in the Facebook group, great. If you are not, join the Facebook group, because that's where those little nuggets of training turn up. Yeah, the live training, weekly, most weeks. Every now and again, there's a week off, but most of the time there's no week off. There's weekly training. If you are watching this in the Facebook group, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. There will be a link to that below this video, and check out past trainings and other good stuff. Now, I'm going to stop the share and come back to you, hopefully. Let's close that. Yeah, now, just in case you didn't see it clearly, or if it was in a tiny little thing, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is how you expand your comfort zone into the area of fear so that you can get to the learning zone. This is that phrase of everything that you want is on the other side of fear. This is where you learn, this is where you grow. And this is what I've turned on its side to show you how to expand yourself so that you can give more and do more. So, like I said, if you're in the Facebook group, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are watching this on YouTube, there will also be a link to the Facebook group below where you can attend and directly influence what goes on a weekly basis in that group. So I'm going to say bye-bye for now.